Welcome to today's episode. Greetings, fellow knowledge seekers. Ernis here, ready to plunge into the fascinating depths of a recent academic paper. Today, we're tackling a study about how we interpret what machine learning models, specifically transformers, are thinking. Buckle up, because it involves some twists and turns. Ever tried explaining your own thought process? It's messy, right? Now, imagine doing that for a super complex AI. That's what explainability in AI is all about. We want to understand why a model makes the decisions it does. Our guides today are Weichu Yu, Siki Zheng, Yao Heng Hubert Tsai, Makoto Yamada, and Han Zhao, who have bravely ventured into this intellectual wilderness. The central question these researchers tackled? It's all about the trustworthiness of a technique called layer-wise relevance propagation, or LRP. LRP is like tracing the flow of influence through a neural network to see which parts of the input had the biggest impact on the output. Sounds useful, right? Well, maybe. The paper is titled, When LRP Diverges from Leave 1 Out in Transformers, which immediately tells us that something's not quite lining up. And that's where the fun begins. Let's start with our first stop, leave 1 out, or LOO. Imagine a detective meticulously going through a list of suspects, systematically removing each one to see if it cracks the case wide open. LOO is similar. You take a piece of input data, say, a word in a sentence, and remove it. If the model's prediction changes drastically, that piece was important. Simple, right? Well, the catch is LOO is computationally expensive. Imagine doing that for every single word in every single document your AI processes. So, clever people invented LRP as a shortcut. But here's where the authors throw a wrench in the gears. They found LRP, in some cases, doesn't quite match up with LOO, especially in the complex architectures of modern transformers. Now, take a moment to picture a grand ballroom. In this room, information dances from one side to another. The steps of this dance, the calculations done by the neural network, can be arranged in different ways, like different dance formations. The researchers found that even if the dance ends with the same pose, LRP can give different accounts of which dancers were most important, depending on the formation. That sounds weird, right? It's called violating implementation invariance. Let's drill down into where things get hairy. The researchers pinpoint two main culprits. First, bilinear layers. These are fundamental to how attention mechanisms work in transformers. Imagine you have two spotlights shining on a stage. The bilinear layer is like figuring out how much the areas illuminated by the spotlights overlap. The authors showed, both theoretically and with experiments, that the way LRP handles these calculations can be, well, flaky. It's like claiming one spotlight is more important, even if both are equally contributing to the overlap. Second, softmax layers. These layers turn numbers into probabilities, like saying there's an 80% chance this word is important. The problem? LRP's method of propagating relevance through these layers can introduce errors, especially when the model is uncertain. Imagine a cosmic roulette wheel where the odds are skewed. LRP might misattribute the importance of certain slots. The paper dives into some clever experiments to prove all this. They even revisited a simpler method, CP, which sidesteps some of these softmax issues. And guess what? It turns out that sometimes, the simpler method aligns better with LOO. It's like rediscovering that a trusty old telescope gives a clearer view than a fancy new one. So, what does all this mean for us? Well, it's a cautionary tale about blindly trusting AI explainability methods. LRP is still a valuable tool, but we need to be aware of its limitations, especially in the intricate world of transformers. As the authors suggest, a promising fix is to canonize larger attention blocks during relevance propagation. Block-wise propagation may offer a more faithful approximation to LOO and guide future work on efficient, theoretically grounded attribution methods. In essence, this paper is a call for more rigorous research into AI explainability. We need to keep questioning, keep experimenting, and keep refining our tools until we can truly understand the minds of these machines. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the PaperLedge. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop being curious about the universe of knowledge that surrounds us. This is Ernis, signing off.